to this day, Master Splinter. Collecting that medallion is one of the proudest moments of my life.
I was very proud of you for that, Leonardo. But the adventure that followed your return home made me even more proud of all of you.
You were proud of us?
Yeah, we nearly broke the family apart.
Sometimes, Raphael, adversity is necessary to strengthen a family bond. And reminiscing one's hardships helps as well. Donatello, Michelangelo, why don't the four of you tell me the story of this helmet in your own words, so that you can see for yourselves how much you have all grown together?
All right. I love this story.
That's because you were always a huge fan of the Night Watcher, Mikey.
And why not, dude? The Night Watcher was pretty cool. Sure, he was a creepy loner and all that, but he was just one guy, and he was taking out entire gangs on his own. Nobody knew anything about the Night Watcher. It's like one day he just...
It's time for our first level as the Night Watcher, and the Night Watcher has his own unique mechanics. And the mechanics are an attempt to do the license justice, so I will give them credit for that. But it doesn't really make sense with the idea of anger. Raphael and Casey are my favorite characters in Turtles because of their unique character development. And any story involving Raphael's anger at injustice, those always interest me, those always captivate me. Probably one of the reasons I like the movie so much, but anyway. The Night Watcher has a unique mechanic called the Rage Meter, and the more enemies he defeats, the higher the Rage Meter gets. My problem with this is that I don't exactly see how that correlates to real-life anger in any meaningful sense. In real life, when you express anger via hitting something, you slowly get less and less angry, not more and more angry. Anger is one of the things that causes people to commit acts of violence. It isn't something that is enhanced by acts of violence. Acts of violence are a way to lessen anger, not a great method, but it's a means of, what's the word? Committing acts of violence is a means of catharsis. That's the word I'm looking for. It's a way to let go of your anger, a way to vent it, because anger is what causes the violence to begin with. And you know, that's kind of the idea behind Raphael's character, is that he's so angry at injustice that he goes and fights these people. He commits acts of incredible violence against his brother's wishes because of his anger. He doesn't get angry because he fights because he's angry. So not only does this rage mechanic go against the basic idea of psychology, which is impressive, but it goes against the idea of Raphael's character. Sure, Raphael is angry, but they seem to have cause and effect reversed somehow, which is, I don't know how you even do that. I'm not sure if I should be impressed that they have cause and effect completely backwards. Maybe they had to try really hard to do that. I don't know, because it never occurred to me to try doing that personally. Anyway, that aside, when the rage meter is full, we can press square, which causes Raphael to explode with anger. And his voice actor does an excellent job in spite of the rage mechanic making no sense. And after Raphael's initial explosion, he activates something similar to that mega attack that activates when the other turtles have all their stars full, where he can defeat all the enemies in one hit. It doesn't last as long as their mega attacks, though, because of the initial explosion. It needed to be balanced in some way. Now, there are a couple of minor things that this game does right in regards to the Night Watcher's levels in this game. The Night Watcher's levels have the most combat and the most difficult combat. This fits well with Raphael's character and with the theme of the film. They do a good job at conveying the idea that going on personal crusades is difficult and tiring and generally not a good idea, and conveying that working together with others to accomplish your goals is much easier. The combat is much harder and more brutal in the Night Watcher levels. The combat is much easier and more lenient when you're playing with the other turtles, especially when you have all four of them together. Simple but effective thematic design. It's a shame the rest of the game doesn't have simple but effective thematic design. Anyway, each of the four turtles has their own platforming gimmick. Raphael, or the Night Watcher's gimmick, is that he can use his size to climb certain surfaces. This doesn't really mean anything, it's basically just a distraction because it's so situational, unlike most of the platforming, which is really fluid. The ability to use his size to climb walls is too situational to give any extra thought. It's just a gimmick. I want to take this time to say if you could please go watch the 2007 TMNT movie, because if you're watching this before you watch the movie, you're going to ruin the movie. Just please, it's way more emotionally complex than you think it is going to be, I promise. And it has themes really important to me on an intellectual level, such as the difference between correlation and causation, and forgiveness, and I really, please just go watch it. If you haven't already, it's probably really cheap by now. I don't care how you watch it, actually, just watch it. You don't even have to buy it, just please watch it. It has a really gorgeous art style, too. It's simplistic, but that's what makes it work, because movies that try to be too realistic tend to get outmoded really fast. The environments that are supposed to be realistic still hold up, but the cartoonish designs of the humans, they still look good because they're so cartoonish. Anyway, I'm sorry, we were playing a video game. This level's over now anyway.
But seriously, he was working alone, and there were so many enemies against him. How long can a lone wolf last?
I don't know how long a lone wolf like the Night Watcher can last, Leo. But I know this. Nobody ever beat that guy. Nobody.